right, let's go segment 3, Cedric. And this week we are talking about living their best life. And you are going to be talking about a guy that you've seen for a lot of years, and he just retired. That's Jamaal Charles. Did a one-day contract with the Chiefs. What a cool deal. He got to go into Kansas City and retire as a Chief.
All-time great for the Kansas City Chiefs. And news just came down this afternoon that his fellow Longhorn Derrick Johnson, also a longtime member of the Chiefs, signed a one-day contract and is retiring. So those guys were great over this last decade in Kansas City on either side of the ball. The question is, Jamaal Charles, did he do enough to get into the Hall of Fame? He might have an outside chance. 5.4 yards a carry, Jenny, is tops all time in the NFL for running backs with a minimum of 750 carries. So Jamaal Charles was a touchdown waiting to happen. He had 7 touchdown carries of 50 yards or more during his illustrious career, 4 Pro Bowls, 2-time first team all NFL. And I saw him during his time at Texas. One game he ran for 130 or so yards in the fourth quarter against Nebraska and left early. And I talked to him about a month ago at a Texas basketball game, and we rode up in the elevator together. And I go, "Are you going to play again? Are you done?" And he goes, "I think I'm done. They've undervalued my position, and it's probably not worth me playing anymore." He still has some jets in those legs. Been a little bit injury prone, had a couple of knee problems, which slowed him down a bit, but he's still a serviceable running back. But he's called it quits. What a great career. 56th all-time in rushing, and that's ahead of like 5 or 6 guys who are in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Job well done.
Yeah, for sure. He'll definitely be in that discussion for Hall of Fame. And, I just thought it was cool to see the way the Chiefs treated him when he did that one day with them. They had all their staff come and sort of, give him a send-off, and really kind of a cool scene. Then he got to take a handoff from Pat Mahomes, who obviously he never played with. Patrick Mahomes just getting that first year under his belt a year ago with the Chiefs as the starter. But, to sort of have that symbolic moment. And I think Jamaal was out there in his suit coat and his dress shoes, and his son was out there with him. Just a lot of cool moments that I'm sure Jamaal Charles and his whole family will appreciate, not only in the moment, but years from now. I do want to, and talking about living their best life, I want to go the opposite, Cedric, with mine, and that's Vince Carter. Cedric, he's never going to retire. He's coming back. 22nd year in the NBA, Vince Carter. And you know what you said about Jamaal Charles, the fact that, he's had a lot of wear and tear. And, you would think that Vince Carter, a guy that really made his early years in basketball, whether it was college or the NBA, it was really about his physicality, his jumping ability. I mean, this guy isn't what he was then, obviously, but he's still doing it, Cedric. It's just unbelievable to me. It's not unbelievable that he's coming back, because I guess at this point I think, yeah, he's just going to play forever. But still, an amazing story of Vince Carter coming back to play in the NBA.
You know what? Dirk Nowitzki just retired, 21 seasons. Vince Carter's going to do him one better. It's been next year, it'll be 20 years since Vince Carter won the slam dunk contest.
Wow.
And he's going to still be playing basketball. That's amazing. 17.2 points a game for his career. He was Air Canada, and before he became Vinsanity. He's changed his game up, because you're not going to carry a 48-inch vertical into your 40s. So that's like shooting your age in golf. It's just hard to do. So he's still serviceable. He can still play. Jason Terry, I think, is still playing. Those guys are about the same age. I think Jet Terry's a little bit younger, but longevity is much easier nowadays because guys are staying in shape for 24/7, 365, 52 weeks a year. The nutrition is better. They're working out 4 or 5 days a week. So Vince Carter may be in his 40s, but he's probably got the body of a 32, 33-year-old guy, and that's allowing him to still be part of the NBA. I'll look at it this way. Why retire? I mean, I'm 10 years older than Vince Carter, and I plan on doing this for another 10 years. I would have hated for someone to come up to me in my 40s and tell me I needed to retire. So as long as you can produce and as long as a team believes you're good enough to help them win games, why not? Shout out to Vince Carter, and for all the septuagenarians out there, we applaud you. I'm going to be old one day, and hopefully Vince Carter will still be playing. It's a tough gig. The NBA grind is tough.
Yeah.
The fact that he's able to do this at such an advanced stage is great.
Yeah, it's one of those things that makes you wonder, you bring up a great point about the nutrition and just the way that these guys live now and train all the time and are really, always in that mindset of how do I stay healthier longer? How do I maximize what I have? Sort of makes me think, Vince Carter at year 22, what are we pointing towards? I don't think it's going to become the norm that we see guys playing 20 plus years, even though Dirk was at 21, now Vince at 22, but what's the ceiling? Is it 25 years potentially? Is it more that a guy could play in the league? I don't know what the answer is, but I'm fascinated to see how long Vince Carter goes because he's still playing minutes that matter. He's not just a guy sitting at the end of the bench. He's not starting, but he's not been relegated to just being a locker room guy. So it's really amazing to see, any type of pro career, 1 year, 1 month, 1 week. I mean, that's impressive. It's such a high bar. But to be playing for 20 plus years, now into year 22, amazing stuff. All right, Sed, that's all the time we've got this week for the Writer's Block. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.